And a number of different campesino, indigenous, and Afro-descendant organizations grouped in the so-called Agrarian Summit have expressed their concern regarding the border crisis with Venezuela. Our correspondent now, Natalia Margarita, reports from Bogota.
Catatumbo, a region shared by Colombia and Venezuela. That's where Olga comes from the Colombian side. A tireless leader, always struggling for campesinos' rights, Olga remembers the paramilitary violence that hit her hometown, leaving at least 100,000 displaced.
Many of those 114,000 displaced people from Catatumbo ended up in Venezuela. And it was thanks to Venezuela that we didn't get killed. Now some come out criticizing the Venezuelan government when it was the one that sheltered us and gave us a hand to men and women who were under risk of being assassinated by paramilitaries. And that was specifically during Alvaro Uribe government.
Others from the same rural region of Catatumbo recall the lack of opportunities in the Colombian side of the border. The absence of development policies and social programs in the rural areas has made it a challenge for those attempting to return from the neighboring country.
There are no opportunities to return and never have been. We, among many campesinos and indigenous people, returned in 2003 without any guarantees from the government. We return among many difficulties, and that is why we have endured not just one, but two and even three different displacements.
It is precisely the historic abandonment of the countryside what have brought some 5,000 rural residents to Colombia's capital, Bogota. Grouped in the so-called Agrarian Summit, they demand the government to commit to rural development, something they consider could even be part of the solution to the current border crisis with Venezuela.
For instance, some agricultural development poles could guarantee Colombia's food sovereignty, but could also supply Venezuela with food and agricultural products. As simple as that. What we need is to strengthen the economic on both sides in order to close the path for illegality.
Rural leaders have insisted on bilateral dialogue and negotiation as the way out of the border crisis, but also in order to maintain the good relations with neighboring Venezuela, which is crucial for Colombia's peace process. Natalia Margarita, teleSUR, Bogota.